So there's me holding a newborn in the hospital's nursery, looking at his teeny little fingers and his cute little toes. My eyes fixed on his little mouth, sucking on the bottle I'm feeding him. My thoughts? I want a puppy. Part of our rotation in the women's health included 3 shifts in the nursery. So we had a saddish story in the ward while we were there. So as the story is told, when this 18-year-old girl first discovered she was pregnant, she was encouraged to have an abortion. But by the time she decided that's what she wanted to do, she was too far along in her pregnancy. So she had her baby and just left it at the hospital. This sad story spread throughout the hospital staff like wildfire. Tons of the female staff members from other wards came into our ward to see this poor baby. So like basically the nurses would take care of the baby throughout the day, just like they take care of all the babies. Aside from regular nursing things like blood tests and vaccines and stuff like that, there's also feeding and bathing and diapering. But one thing the nurses don't have time to do is just hold the baby. And this is where the organization Chibuk Rishon, First Hug, comes in. Check this out.
חיבוק ראשון היא העמותה היחידה בארץ שדואגת לספק את הצרכים של התינוקות שננטשים בבתי חולים. אנחנו דואגים לתינוקות הנטושים על ידי זה שאנחנו מייצרים להם סביבה ביתית בתוך מחלקות האשפוז. קבוצות קטנות של מתנדבות קבועות שמגיעות אל התינוקות, והתינוק לומד לזהות את המתנדבות בדומה לבני משפחה, ובנוסף אנחנו גם דואגים לספק את כל הציוד שהתינוק זקוק לו, צעצועי התפתחות, או עגלה או מנסה, כדי שאפשר יהיה לטייל איתו גם מחוץ לבית החולים.
So yes, in case that wasn't clear, Chibuk Rishon is an organization that sends volunteers to hold and nurture and provide emotional care and love for babies who are abandoned by their parents. So according to their website, this organization cares for over 200 babies at 22 medical centers, hospitals, and rehab institutions across the country. In the case of our abandoned baby boy, everyday volunteer women came to sit with him and just hold him. No feeding, no bathing, no diapering, just holding and singing and, you know, whatever, stuff like that. An interesting point is that because these volunteers are not part of the hospital staff, the nurse has to make sure that the environment is completely safe. When she hands the baby over to the volunteer, she has to make sure that the volunteer is sitting and that the baby's positioned correctly in her arms, you know, etc., etc. So like these volunteers for this organization are all middle-aged women. You know, all have children of their own, possibly even their own grandchildren. But still, like the nurse would have to make sure that the volunteer is sitting and the baby is positioned correctly. But like meanwhile, the nurse doesn't think twice when asking me to pick up the baby to feed him. Me, a single girl who can't remember the last time she touched a newborn. So when the baby was 7 days old, he was picked up by a social worker. By law, the biological mother has 2 weeks from the birth of her baby to change her mind. So during this transition period, the baby has to be sent to a foster family. After that, if the mother decides that she really actually wants to give up her kid, the baby goes to his final adoptive family. So we had a chance to sit with the social worker for a few minutes and discuss this whole process, because this was just a very interesting case, and in general, how does adoption work in Israel? Like, how long are people generally on the waiting list? How do you qualify to get on the list in the first place? Can only Jews adopt Jews and Arabs adopt Arabs? And who is responsible for giving the baby a brit milah? So yeah, the whole story involved like a lot of mixed feelings. Every time I went to go take care of this baby, I just like felt so bad for him and would just like kind of like take extra good care because of his situation. I don't know, like I believe that it goes completely against nature for a mother to be willing to give up her child. But then on the other hand, there's probably a couple out there who've been waiting years to have a child of their own, probably expecting to have to adopt a baby with medical issues or disabilities, and then by some miracle, they're going to end up with this perfectly healthy baby boy. Alright, so on another topic completely, I just wanted to say that if you happen to see me out and about in the streets, please say hi. Introduce yourself, tell me that you watch my videos. I will likely be confused for a bit, but I promise I'm a really nice person in real life. I have met a few of you already, and as startling as it usually is, I have to admit it's like pretty cool to meet people who watch my videos. However, I do have one favor to ask. Please don't go up to my friends. They really don't like it. It freaks them out. And it also creeps them out. And as a result, they're not as willing to be featured in my videos anymore. So we all lose out. On top of that, I realized that I've made myself pretty available. Like, I'm assuming that it's quite easy to find me if you know where to look. But please don't do that. It's an invasion of my privacy and completely inappropriate. Like, if that started to happen, I would have to stop making videos. And you don't want that, right? So again, please feel free to say hi to me, but don't bother my friends and don't stalk me. And yeah, that's it for today. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos with your friends, and you can get more information about the organization Chibuk Rishon First Hug. Information is in the description below, and I will see you next time. Hi guys, Shira here. It's Yom Ha'atzmaut and we're waiting for a bus to go to our next party in our series of events. And we just saw this very interesting ad. It's an ad for a shidduch coach. Somebody is offering lessons on how to date, and the contact number is for a guy, so we're not exactly sure who the target audience is.
Hi, Yisrael. I'm just curious, what do you do? Yes, in regards to the advertising, I'm just very curious.
Share my love.